Hello, and welcome back to the Transform Wellness Podcast. I am Dr. Bradford Perkins, a longevity and metabolic specialist. Today we're going to talk about fatty liver. Fatty liver is when we get fat buildup inside the liver, which can cause issues with how the liver is functioning. When this is not caused by alcohol, it is called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This is often silent. We don't have any symptoms of fatty liver, but it is a sign of metabolic issues going on. So think of it, that warning light in your car. Why does this matter? It's because 1 in 3 adults has fatty liver, and most don't even know. That looks like around 100 million adults currently with fatty liver, and is predicted to be 150 million by 2030. That is a lot of people that have metabolic dysfunction that is going undiagnosed. And part of it is because the normal range for liver tests is incorrect. And we are going to talk about that. When we have fatty liver, it can become non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Now you're getting inflammation in the liver, which can lead to fibrosis, and in the end can lead to cirrhosis. And we are starting to see cirrhosis being more and more common due to fatty liver, and even in children. Because it's part of metabolic disease, it can lead to type 2 diabetes, heart attacks, dementia, can lead to hormone imbalances, and just chronic inflammation. But this is just not a problem in adults. It also is a problem in children and growing. So somewhere between 7.5% to 13% of all kids have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and 34 to 47% of kids with obesity are affected. This is more common in boys, and up to 17% of teenagers have fatty liver. The most common cause of fatty liver in children is sucrose, the sugar in foods, and with all the juices we drink, sodas, all that sucrose or table sugar is converted into fructose, because sucrose is 2 different molecules, glucose and fructose. The fructose goes straight into the liver, causing fatty liver. So the long-term risks of this, especially for children, is early diabetes, increased risk of cardiovascular disease, and increased risk of cirrhosis in young adulthood. So what are the root causes? I would put fructose and sucrose overload number 1. That is what we're doing in our diet to drive fatty liver. Insulin resistance and fatty liver are a cycle. So some people say the fatty liver leads to insulin resistance. Insulin resistance can lead to fatty liver. So it's this vicious cycle that occurs. When we eat a lot of refined carbs, seed oils, poor dietary choices, that can lead to fatty liver. Anytime we're overworking the liver with toxins that's being in our environment, plastics, certain medications, glyphosate in our foods, all the toxins that are in soaps and in cosmetics, all that can put more extra burden on our liver, which can cause inflammation in the liver. An imbalanced gut microbiome can lead to fatty liver as well, and just having a lot of oxidative or mitochondrial stress inside our body. There are other talks on that if you want to look on my channel. So early symptoms, there usually aren't any. And most of them are just kind of vague that go along with all the other issues that go along with this. So you can have brain fog, fatigue. You can notice increase in visceral fat or belly fat. And bloating can also be an early symptom. So when we test it, most time we look at the ALT and AST. We want to see those numbers under 25, but most labs don't flag it unless it's over 60. But by that time, you definitely have fatty liver. The optimal range is under 25. And then there's another liver test we can check, which is called GGT. We want to see that under 40, maybe even under 30 would be better. There are other tests that can be done. There's a FIB4 score. It's more of a calculation, including platelets. Then we might want to do an ultrasound of the liver, a FibroScan, which tests the amount of fibrotic tissue or scar tissue in the liver, or you can do a MRI as well. So when we're looking at treatments for fatty liver, it's first thing is dietary. We want to cut out those sugars, cut out the fruit juice, cut out the cut out the fruit juice and sodas, cut out alcohol. We need to remove anything that's going to be damaging the liver. We want to boost natural detoxification. That's eating sulfur-rich vegetables like onions and garlic, eating cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. That aids in detox. You can try intermittent fasting or a fasting mimicking diet that helps with the metabolism, insulin resistance part to it. Exercise regularly, that helps with insulin resistance and just getting the body moving. If we think there's a lot of gut issues, we got to heal the gut. We want to improve sleep and stress. And there are targeted supplements that can help with the liver. These include milk thistle, glutathione, or its precursors like NAC or keolic garlic is one. These are master antioxidant and detox support. Methylated B vitamins, most of us have issues with something called methylation. It's from an enzyme called that's slow called MTHFR that helps with the liver getting rid of toxins. And then we also need to look at gallbladder support because a lot of us have these backed up sludgy gallbladders. So bitters like dandelion or artichoke help. Taurine or phosphatidylcholine can help. If you don't have a gallbladder, taking ox bile. And then lecithin and magnesium can also be helpful. There is a new supplement out there. It's called Fatty 15. It's a form of saturated fat that has 15 carbons. It is an old but newly rediscovered fatty acid. It does help lower inflammation, supports the mitochondria. It is being seen as a longevity molecule, and it also can help reverse fatty liver in some early studies. The early research is promising. Human studies are still ongoing, but from what I see, it's not harmful to try. And then if we look into the world of peptides, a lot of it we need to lose weight. One of the best peptides to do that is Tirzepatide. The brand name is Zepbound for weight loss. If it's for diabetics, it's called Mounjaro. This is a dual-acting GLP-1 and GIP agonist. That one really has some good data on liver fat reduction. Semaglutide or Ozempic/Wegovy can also help. And there is another drug, now this is for people specifically with HIV, it's approved for, called Tesamorelin, because that helps target visceral fat. So the key takeaways is that fatty liver is a reversible condition. There is lots of issues when it comes to having a fatty liver as far as all your metabolism, so it is a marker of other issues. So taking action to lower that fat in the liver helps protect your heart, protect your brain, helps improve our metabolism, improve our longevity. So if you want more tips, subscribe to my channel, drop any comments that you have, and I hope everyone has a great week.